If you watch Kai Cenat or have been on Twitter in the last few months, then chances are you've heard of Ray, the kid that Kai Cenat met at a random 7-Eleven and ended up becoming friends with. Back when this happened, everyone thought that Ray was just a fan that got their 15 minutes of fame by meeting Kai, and it did seem like that for a little bit until Ray just kind of exploded and he is everywhere now. You see him doing streams without Kai and he's doing his own thing and he has his own fan base, and that is something you never see in situations like this. In fact, you never even see a situation like this where a streamer meets a fan and becomes friends with them. But how did all this even happen? I mean, it just doesn't seem to make sense. Well, today we'll be going over how Ray ended up becoming one of the biggest personalities in the streaming world, and spoiler alert, it isn't simply because of luck. So the first thing we have to look at is just how Kai and Ray met together. Now, I'm sure everyone has seen the clip, so I'll just talk about the things that are less talked about. The main reason why Ray stood out from just any other fan is because of his energy. Most fans tend to be shy or they don't really know what to say and are kind of awkward, and while Ray did show some of that, he was definitely a lot better on camera and most importantly, he was entertaining. It will start off instantly by him saying God did, which is something that Kai and Phantom say a lot, but the other instance was when he told an employee at 7-Eleven to chill. And this just showed how Ray was willing to do what most people wouldn't and that he didn't exactly have a filter, and that was even shown later on when Ray said the N-word while singing along to Mo Bamba. Now, when someone says that word, it's typically a massive deal, but Ray just got the pass because he didn't know English that well and he was given the benefit of the doubt. Plus, he just seemed pretty innocent, and those are also just other factors that will lead to him becoming a success. Ray was just an interesting character that you wouldn't expect, and that is why he was entertaining to watch and what made him different than most other fans. However, after Kai left, it seemed like Ray's 15 minutes of fame were over. However, that would change when Kai would actually bring Ray over to America and he would live at the AMP house. Now, this was something that no one was really expecting, but this would just be the beginning of Ray, and this is how he would start to build up a fan base just because he was on stream a lot more and people just got to see a lot more of him. They would do a lot of streams together, but the biggest thing that would happen was a short film that Kai created with Ray. This movie was supposed to resemble Rush Hour, which is an iconic movie and there are multiple sequels to it, and there's possibly even another one coming out. But it really would be Ray's visit in America where he would start to gain his own fan base, and then later he would end up coming back to America for the prison stream in which Ray had a lot of big moments as well, and where he gained just a ton more fans and also met a lot of big people, meaning he got exposed to the fan bases of them as well, and overall he was just getting more famous. And after leaving, he was streaming back home in Taiwan, and now he was getting a lot more viewers and really starting to form his own community. And the main reason for this was simply just because he was entertaining, and it was just really funny to watch Ray since he was kind of like a mini Kai Cenat, but he was just unique in his own way. After this, there will be a few months in which Ray was just back home streaming in Taiwan, and these streams would do well, and he had a really good amount of subscribers on Twitch considering that he was fairly new to all of this. And at this point, I know a lot of people will be saying that he just got extremely lucky and that Kai simply built him a whole career. However, I just have to disagree with that. While Kai definitely helped Ray out a ton and just brought him into the limelight, it was actually Ray himself who had to continue being entertaining, and he had to give people a reason to actually watch him, and that is exactly what he did and why he is successful. You could give 100 people the same opportunity that Ray got, and I'd honestly say that less than 5 of them would be able to capitalize on the opportunity and get to this point, and he will just go a lot further after that. In January of this year, Ray would create his Ray Asian Boy Live channel, and this would be a massive step forward. First of all, he started to really create his own brand and put his name out more, and this made it so less people associated him with only Kai Cenat, and instead they acknowledged that Ray also had his own brand and personality. For the first 2-ish months, the channel wasn't exactly too big as it was just moments from his streams and it wasn't any IRL content, though that would change and we'll get to that really soon. But first, let's go to March, and that is where Kai would end up going to Taiwan and meeting Ray and his family, and he would also go to Ray's school. This was a big moment as him and Kai were meeting up together again, and it would be beneficial for Ray as he was more in charge and more in his element here as it was his own country, and he was able to show Kai around and more of his personality and everything will come to light. After that, Ray will just go back to streaming and he would end up getting almost cancelled for saying this on stream, and I'll just let the clip play so you see what I'm talking about.
You a fucking monkey.
Nigga, go to fucking sleep.
You a fucking black monkey, bitch.
Fuck out you, bitch.
That was obviously crazy, and he would end up making an apology video and everything, and thankfully it seemed like most people just found it entertaining and they didn't actually hate Ray for doing this. And a factor for this is obviously because he doesn't natively speak English, and most people just assume that he learned all that stuff from hanging out with Kai and AMP, and that he simply didn't know better and that he was innocent. Soon enough, everyone was over this and Ray would just go back to streaming normally, and it's as if none of that happened. And pretty shortly after that, he would end up going back to America to meet up with Kai. They would have a big stream here, and now Ray was getting hundreds of thousands of views on his YouTube channel, and this is where he really started exploding. And that would just continue as they went to Jamaica together and did full streams over there that were just massive, and throughout all of this, Ray would just get to shine more and really gain more and more fans. After Jamaica, he would go back to America for a little bit before going back to Taiwan, where he just continued streaming and he was just pulling in more and more numbers, and all this was people watching him for being him and not because he was with Kai Cenat or AMP or anything. He would also start doing IRL streaming in Taiwan, and this just showed how he was really leveling up and making better content, and this was also great for growth, and he really was becoming his own person as he didn't have Kai around him or anything. People were truly watching him for him. At the end of May, Ray would announce that he would be forced to join the military, and that news kind of put his career in jeopardy since he wouldn't be able to really stream in the military. And it is really because of this that Ray has just gone on a massive run now, and he's just growing as big as possible before he ends up having to go to the military. It will start with him going back to America and actually announcing that he was living there, and the first really big moment for Ray will come in the Kevin Hart and Drewski sleepover stream. This was a massive stream and the biggest one that Ray has been a part of, and it just created so many moments for Ray, and he really got massive and made a lot of connections through the stream alone. And after that, he would just start streaming more as himself, and he would start doing more crazy streams, and he would end up going to New York with AMP as well. And now, I mean, he's just going around doing his own thing, and he is no longer reliant on Kai for any relevancy or anything, as he just has his own massive fan base that loves watching him, and he is almost at 500,000 subscribers as of right now, and I have no doubt that he'll make it to 1 million in the next 3 months, since he has been doing over 100,000 subscribers a month. And honestly, it's just really crazy to see how big Ray has become, and this is just such a unique thing to watch, and I can't wait to see what Ray does next. But that's also it for this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, then I would appreciate if you could drop a sub as it really helps me out. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video.